Joined today by Bobby Lashley ahead of SummerSlam. Bobby Lashley, the new United States champion since we last saw you in Money in Bank July. How you feeling?
I feel great.
Yeah.
I feel great. That's one thing that I'm very fortunate of. You know, as you become an older athlete, you start thinking about the bumps and bruises, and I tell you what, I feel great. I feel better than I've ever felt. So this run has been a good run for me. World title, U.S. title, and one thing that I want to say with this U.S. title is that I'm putting some legitimacy behind it. I'm putting it back to where it's supposed to be. United States title has lineage of some of the greatest wrestlers in this business, and I put my name alongside those guys. And right now, I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I will challenge anybody. Right now, I'm holding the United States title, and I think it's the biggest title in wrestling because nobody can beat me in any division, any promotion, anywhere. So that's what the United States title means right now.
You put that open challenge out, and Theory is your challenger on Saturday at the Nissan Stadium. The man you beat for the title. It seems like everyone's coming for Theory.
Yes.
But you've had some good things to say about him. You spoke to Ariel Helwani and said he's the future of the business. How much of a challenge is he?
Right now, he's a little young. He's a little young in the business. He's doing what he's supposed to do. I mean, because when you get into the wrestling business, either you can be quiet and no one hears you, or you can be loud and everybody hears you. And he's taken that position of being very loud and running around. I mean, the kid's extremely athletic. He has a great look. He has all the tools right now, but it's a walk, not a run. I mean, when you come all the way up to me, it's like you jumped a little bit too far. I mean, he's jumping in front of Roman. He's jumping in front of Brock. He's jumping in front of myself. He's jumping in front of Drew. I mean, these are a lot of people that, I mean, I give you credit for doing it, but boy, you're going to take a lot of ass whoopings on the way. So this weekend, I mean, I'm just going to teach him a lesson. And it's nothing against him. He's not going to lose anything to lose to the Almighty. I mean, that's not going to set his career back. It's going to just say and show him where he's at, and then he's had something to build on. So this weekend, I mean, I train like I train for everything else. So I'm completely prepared for anything that he has to throw at me. But I think this is pretty much a one-sided victory for me.
You've been in this game a long time. Who does Theory remind you of?
I mean, everybody says Cena. Is young Cena, which I can see. I mean, he has a lot of the same qualities Cena has, but I think he takes a little bit from a lot of different people. I mean, he's a tough kid, extremely athletic. So, I mean, I'd say Cena is one, but definitely there's a couple other people that you can sprinkle in there also.
Now, there was a great moment in the garden Monday night with you and Drew, and before the interview started, you alluded to obviously being Brits, that you've been beating up our boy for about 2 years. You had a lovely moment where you sort of stood in the ring and acknowledged each other.
Yes.
What was that like for you?
Man, Drew actually is one of my favorite people in the wrestling business. I mean, because if you want to talk about a wrestler, somebody that can represent the company the way that it should, Drew's that guy. I mean, he has a great look, great build. He loves the game of wrestling. He has an amazing mind for wrestling. I mean, he fits the image. If he walks in this room right now, everybody's going to turn their head. They're like, whoa, who's that guy? I mean, everything about him is champion status. I mean, so having an opportunity to be in the ring with him, I've always said this, it's always brought out the best in me. Whether I was tagging with him or whether I was going against him, it always brought out the best in him. If I go in a match against Drew, I know that I have to fight. I know that it's going to be a fight. I know that I'm going to be sore. There's going to be a lot of rehab after it, but I know that it's going to be a tough fight. And another thing about Drew, because I'm going to keep talking about Drew, Drew has that match with Sheamus in SmackDown. If he wins that one, he's the next in line for the title. So I'm pulling for Drew all the way, because if he wins that match, he goes to the Clash at the Castle, he wins that one, I'm sure, being the man he is, he's going to give me another opportunity at that title. So hopefully I'll be the next person holding 2 titles on my shoulder.
You want to run that back then?
Absolutely.
You two went to war, and you mentioned Clash of the Castle. When you beat Theory on Saturday at Nissan Stadium, who do you want to step up to you?
I'm gonna go after you guys again. I think an interesting matchup that I heard a couple times is Gunther.
Yeah.
I think just him being my counter on the other show, I think it's something that is kind of intriguing. He's a tough competitor. I mean, he's been doing some big stuff, and he just went right up to the top right away. So I think it's an interesting matchup. It's a matchup that I think that we can kind of build towards, and maybe we can do that at Survivor Series, or we can do that a little later on in the year. But it's something definitely that I'm interested in.
How And with Roman not being on every show at the moment, it seems United States Championship and the Intercontinental Championship are they're getting a lot more TV time. One, how are you feeling about that and, having that extra weight on your shoulders? And two, how is he coping with it on the other side?
I don't mind. I'm a workhorse. I'm not the type that wants to sit around and not be here. I like to do everything, every show, every interview, every appearance. That's me, and I don't mind doing it. It's something that I want to do. When I come back, after this is done, I'm going to be just a dad at home, sitting around watching TV. So I'm not going to have the opportunity to be in front of you guys, be in front of the camera, be able to talk to you guys. So the time that I do have it, which is right now, I want to take advantage of it. I want to be a part of everything that I can. Every show, I want to be on TV every week. I want to be in every live event. I want to shake every fan's hand. I want to just embrace everything. I want to take everything in. And until I can't do it anymore, just write me in, because I'm there. And holding the title, this is the title of Raw. Roman has the world titles, and like you said, he's kind of doing a little part-time deal, which he deserves, because he put in the work to get there. But until somebody takes it from him and brings it back, this is the title, so I don't have a problem running the show.